What's going on, guys? Matt Wacek here. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another video. Today we are going to take a look at a subscriber's website, and this person had reached out via Facebook Messenger, asked if I could take a look at his website. He built this on his own from scratch. He wanted me to take a look at the site and give him some recommendations on overall presentation of the site, what will help with ranking, and also being when it comes to ranking, another big factor is the human element of the people reading it, to make sure that we get the people that are on the website doing what it is that they need to do, which is make a phone call, send an email, submit their information through the contact form. Alright, so to start things off, I do have a whole list of recommendations here. I'm not going to go through all of them because this video would be 30 minutes long, but I'll touch on some very, very important parts. The first thing to notice is the Google My Business listing. So if you do not have one for your own business, especially if you have an offline company, or if you're doing this for lead gen purposes, you need to go get a Google My Business listing. They are 100% free if it is your actual offline business. If you're doing lead generation, there's a little bit different way you go about it, but you got to have that. That's absolutely crucial. But either way, you'd really need to have it. And another thing that you'll want to do is grab the embed code, which if you don't know how to do that, Google provides great instructions on doing so. You'll want to embed it on pages throughout your site. So if we come over here to this service page here, I believe he has a map embed. So what you'd want to do is embed the Google Maps listing on this page down here, and pretty much every other page on the site, especially the contact us page. Have that down here as well. If we take a look at another client site of mine here, who their listing is still waiting to be verified, but you can see we just have it embed here along with some text and some calls to action. So what I would recommend is implementing something similar to this. Another method you can do, depending on the WordPress theme they're using, is maybe even embed the map down here, just have it be really, really small. But what matters is the map embed, because when you do start sending links to your site, you're going to start building up that authority, and Google's going to see, okay, this map is embedded on this website. This website is starting to really build trust with us and build authority. And what that's going to do is also help you with ranking your Google My Business listing. Now, that's not everything. That's not the end all be all to get your Google Maps listing ranked at the top of the map pack, but it's something that's going to help you. So the very first thing I noticed though with the website is that the site's not secure. If you take a look over here at one of our clients' sites, the HTTPS is right here. The site and the connection is secure. The certificate's valid. So what you want to do, and I don't know who you hosted the site with, hopefully it is HostGator, because I believe they still include an SSL certificate with your hosting package. Have them install the SSL and do all the things they need to do. And then the next task comes into play of making sure every link on the page, every image, it all has to be linked to an HTTPS link. If you look down here at the bottom left of the screen when I'm hovering over this services link, you'll notice it just goes straight to www, then the URL. If we come over here to BlackRock, we have a button here, and if we're hovering over the button and you look down at the bottom left of my screen, you'll see HTTPS, then the URL. So that makes it a secure link. So that can be extremely time consuming. If you can get the support people from HostGator to help you out, that would be a huge bonus. Otherwise, I would look into maybe outsourcing it to someone on Upwork or Fiverr, maybe even the legit marketplace. But it's something that it takes a ridiculous amount of time, and it's so tedious, but it has to be done. Otherwise, if even one single link is broken on this page, and when I say broken, I mean it's not fully secure, it's still going to show this error message. And the reason that we don't want this error message here of not secure is that this can stop someone from accessing your website. So if someone clicks on it from the search engine, and even if you're ranking in the first page, Chrome and Firefox may have a warning message that shows up rather than your website that says this site is not secure, it could be dangerous, etc., etc. And that person's going to say, well, I'm out of here. I don't want to go to a potentially dangerous website. So you want to make sure that that is set up properly as well. So the next thing that you'd want to do to make sure that the site looks as professional as possible, especially on desktop, and granted, the traffic is becoming more and more mobile focused, but desktop is still very important, because the people that are doing more research on finding a service provider, especially if it's landscaping, because it is a higher ticket service, they are going to go on their computer because it's a lot easier to read and learn and see things on a computer versus on their phone. So I would recommend getting a logo designed and probably just removing this whole section right here, and then having this menu section, which I would definitely get rid of either one of these two menus here, and maybe even this top sticky one, maybe just have the sticky one show up on mobile, and then have there be no space here, and then have your logo that you have either designed, or if it's this one, if you wanted to do that, have that right here in the place of Turf Pro Outdoor Service LLC. And so as we move down here to the slider, what I would recommend is just heading over to any of the big stock photo websites. I know people say, oh, don't use stock photos, but you want as high resolution pictures as possible. So if you head over to like Pixabay, they're free. OnePixel.com is, I believe, $1 for each one. Adobe is $30 a month, and you get access to 10 photos every single month. There are a bunch more out there, but you want really, really high resolution pictures, especially for something like the slider in this background as well. And then also add text to the image here with the slider. And if you can create buttons that are calls to action, so either call us or get a quote and it links to the contact page, that would help you. That would help a lot as well. So when we get down here, it looks like we have some services with a good amount of content beneath. That looks good. What I would recommend is having some type of call to action. If your WordPress theme allows for it, you can put a call to action down here that says call us today, and then the phone number with a clickable link. And so now we get down here to this blog post, which looks to be the stock blog that came with the WordPress installation. So I would either create a blog post on here, or maybe head over to Legit Marketplace and order up a blog post from somebody. And of course have it be relevant and throw in some of the keywords and that sort of stuff in there. But you definitely don't want it to be just this stock one here, because when a customer sees this and if they don't understand how WordPress works and how this just automatically shows up when you install it on your site, they're going to be really confused as to what this is. So now moving down here, social media. So right away what I would probably change here is, rather than just social media, I would say follow us, because it kind of entices someone to make an action, which is what we want them to be doing on our website. So if you can put the Facebook logo here with a link to your Facebook page, that would help. But otherwise, I would just put Facebook, and you don't need to put Turf Pro Outdoor Service afterwards. So contact us. What I would do here is throw in your address and city, state, and zip code if you have that displayed on your Google Maps listing. If you don't have that, if you just have city, state, then just put that there. And then make sure you have the phone number here, and then also maybe a link that says just click to email. Have it be a link that is mail to : or semicolon, whatever it's called, your email at yourdomain.com. And then if someone happens to be scrolling through on their phone, they tap that and it's going to open up their Gmail app or whatever application they have set up as their default email, and they can send you an email right then and there. So then down here at the bottom, another menu, I would remove this, and you're going to want to have your privacy policy and terms of service pages linked maybe down here. And it's not terms of service for like your contracts with your clients. It's for people visiting the website, and it's just overall legality stuff. But there are some plugins that you can get will help you with privacy policies, and just check them out. Just go to plugins, add new, and then just type in privacy policy terms of services, and that'll help you out all right there. I went over some info in the document with what to do with this statement here. So now let's take a look at the About Us page. So right away I noticed it's very, very, very broad. And in my opinion, the best way to go is transparency when it comes to a local business. Because when someone is looking to purchase service, and this may not be the case for your one-time spring cleanup clients or someone that just wants to buy one aeration service, but when someone is going to be shelling out $2,000, $5,000, $10,000, $15,000, $20,000, $50,000, $100,000 for a landscape project, or a long-term maintenance service provider, they are going to want to know who's behind the company. Having your story of how you started the business, for example, if we take a look over here at Merlin's Landscaping, it gives a story of how he got started and what initially sparked his idea of him wanting to start his business. And that's just being really personable, and that's only going to help. There's never been a single time where being transparent in your story of your business has had any detrimental effects in the 9 years of me owning businesses. So that's just something that you definitely want to do. Have a picture of yourself on the page as well. If you have any, and if you're someone who has a bigger business and you have a management staff like operations manager, sales manager, or if you have foremen that have been on board for a long time and they plan to stick with you, have pictures of them on there as well. Because when someone is going to be shelling out tens of thousands of dollars, they really want to know who's going to be on their property. It's just one of those things that's only going to help. All right, we'll take a look at one service page here because there are a lot of other pages on the site. I went pretty in depth here on the document of what to do, but let's go a quick rundown. So fall and spring cleanups, Utica. I'm not going to get too crazy into the grammar or anything like that in this video, but if we get down here, the imagery, I would make it smaller just so that way people can start reading the text. And if someone doesn't know anything about fall cleanups, they just see this image and it may not convert as well. You'd also want to take some of this text and rather than having it on the image, have that in your text because that will help you with more content on the page. So we have our first H2 font or H2 header. So why a fall cleanup? That would work. Looks like we get down here and it looks like there's nothing about spring cleanup. So if this page is about spring cleanups and you don't have a separate page for it, you're going to want to make sure you include content about it. In the document here, we'll just take a look with the structure of how you want your content. Now I know I'm getting a little bit technical, but when it comes to your H1 font, what I would recommend doing for this particular page is doing something rather than how it's up here. We have Fall Cleanup Utica, New York, and then the brand name after it. I would just have it be Lawn Cleanup Services in Utica, New York. And then what you can also do is throw in one of these bars and do a synonym of fall cleanup or lawn cleanup or spring cleanup. So in this instance, we could put in leaf removal. So you're gonna have to be careful and check how many characters this is. With the all-in-one SEO plugin, you'll be able to see how many characters this is when you are editing it. But then when someone goes in and types in leaf removal near me and they're located in Utica, then that gives you a good shot of having your page show up. Or if they type in Utica leaf removal. Or another one here is if you guys use the term called dethatching, otherwise power raking, having that in here will also help as well. So as we get into the H2 headlines, which are these smaller ones here, are generally going to be smaller a little bit than the H1, what you want to be doing is having synonyms to the service in these headlines and also sprinkled throughout the content as well. So we have fall leaf cleanup, and then we get down, and then below you want to have your paragraph text and imagery regarding fall leaf cleanups. Then we have spring lawn cleanups, or you could do spring cleanups, spring lawn cleaning, any types of variations, because what we're trying to do is when someone types in lawn cleanup Utica or spring lawn cleanup Utica, we want this page to show up for that search result. Or even if someone goes and types in dethatching, if you don't have any content on the page about dethatching or power raking, then the page won't be able to show up because Google doesn't know that this page is also about dethatching. It's just about spring cleanups. Google doesn't know lawn care lingo. For any lawn business owner, they're going to know that, okay, yeah, the cleanup is also synonymous or includes a dethatch service or a power rake service, but Google doesn't know that. So you got to make sure that we communicate that to them. Another thing that you can maybe throw in there is some benefits of dethatching and then a bulleted list of the benefits, then paragraph text and imagery as well. And also I noticed that you didn't have a page on aerating. I'm not sure if you guys offer that service. It's a very high margin service, one of my favorite in all of lawn care, but I would definitely throw that in there and also have something similar to the list of the benefits because it is a very beneficial service to a lawn. It's also a very high margin service. And the only downside is that there's a really narrow window to be able to do it. You can only do it in the spring and fall. But one thing to also note, this is in the document and you'll be able to see it, but make sure that you have the keywords mentioned on your page. So for the page that was lawn care, let's see where it is, lawn care Utica, which I believe is this one, which I would recommend that you change the homepage to be all about lawn care Utica and then also landscaping in Utica, and then maybe have this page just be about strictly lawn maintenance because this one here is titled lawn care, but the H1 is lawn maintenance, so it doesn't match and we want that to match. But what you want to be doing is having a keyword density of at least 1 to 2% of the total text. So if we have a page that's all about lawn care in Utica or whatever city that we're working in, you want to have that keyword mentioned in there at least 1 to 2% of the time. So if there's 500 words, that's 5 to 10 times that it is mentioned. You can do this with the alternate tags in the text. I would recommend doing that at least once per page, and then have it sprinkled into the headers up here. So you could do spring lawn cleanups in Utica, or lawn care in Utica, lawn mowing, for example, in Utica. and also in the paragraph text, but you really need to be careful and make sure that it reads in English in a manner that someone can understand. You don't want it to just say lawn care Utica is a great way to get your lawn to look good. That makes no sense. You need to make sure that it makes sense to the person reading it in plain English. So those are my recommendations. Hopefully you got some good ideas of what to do for your website to improve the conversion rate, as well as the potential for ranking your site in the search engines, because that's what it is all about. Not only ranking, but making sure people do what it is that we want them to do on our website. So if you like this type of content, I'd appreciate if you went down below, dropped a like on this video, and if you are not already a part of the family, go down below, smash that subscribe button, hit the bell for notifications so that way you know when the newest content comes live here on the channel. And if you're interested in any digital marketing services for your business, feel free to check out our website, landscapemarketingpros.co. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.